Namaste. Hi, I'm Manish, and I'd like to share with you yoga for hamstrings. Now, it's not right to study yoga as just a physical discipline, and therefore, let's approach it from body, mind, and prana or energy. How does this relate to hamstrings? Most of the time, even professional sports people are missing games because of tight hamstrings. So for people having a sedentary job, if you're especially in an AC environment, the chance of getting tight hamstrings is very high. And that has a huge relation to lower back pain. So when we look at the hamstrings, the first thing I'd like you to do is just to set the intention. If you've got tight hamstrings, over the next few minutes, 10 minutes or so, you want to just understand how you can lengthen the hamstrings. Let's begin with a simple Om chant. Now, you've got the thighs, and then you've got the hamstrings behind, bicep femoris, that's what we call it. It's very interesting because what you got to do is ensure that it's long, but at the same time it's strong. So a few things that we'll get started with. Understanding the role of the hamstring. When you bend your knee like this, so just like the bicep pulls the hand here, it is the role of the hamstring to bring the knee to bend. It is the role of the thigh to straighten the knee. So this movement is given by the hamstring. A perfect coordination of both these muscles ensure that you're able to walk well and so on and so forth. So for the hamstring stretches, now I don't expect you to just drop down. What you got to do first is just start to loosen out a little bit of the knees, ankles, ankle. The body has to be treated as one unit. Even though we're talking about a unique muscle, the whole body works together. Just get a gentle stretch. This is just setting the stage for two things. One is a backward bend, so you can just support your hips like this. And two is a forward fold. At this stage, we are not even stretching, we're just letting the body hang loose. I would like to make one point that when it comes to stretching and flexibility, especially with the hamstrings, forward folds, gravity is doing the work. All you got to do is you relax. If you try to stretch, you're going to hurt yourself. So for beginning with the hamstrings, we'll do a simple stretch for the hips first. So a lot of the stiffness starts from the hips. So bring your legs like this in a diamond shape. Inhale. As you pull in the stomach, start to stretch forwards. You'll find that the hamstrings, the outer hamstrings, the hips feel a little tight. So just breathe in and out through it. So with the eyes closed, Ujjayi Pranayam, inhale. And just walk your hands a little more forward. I'd recommend you stay here for about 3 to 5 minutes. If you were to do this every day, you'll find quickly you're able to drop your elbows beyond your ankles at the level of your feet. Now don't round your back too much. Push the tailbone, tuck, rather not tuck, push the tailbone back. It's okay if the sit bones come a little bit off the ground. Getting your stomach to the floor. And change. Really beautiful opening up of the hamstrings here. Now we can bring that movement into this posture. Yeah. So just ensure that you pull in the stomach, drop down, let the body hang loose. You can keep the knees slightly soft, just like you were doing in that posture, getting your stomach closer to your thighs. Holding your calves. Over a course of time, you will straighten the hamstrings more and more, but as of now, you're okay to just keep the knees soft. Little bit of variations here. So if you bring, so that is Padahastasana. If you were to bring the right leg and left leg about 2 feet distance, we call this as Padottanasana. Paraswattanasana. Heel flat, back heel flat, drop down. Starting to push your hips back in Paraswattanasana. Now you'll find that the front, the right hamstring starts to stretch. It's a very important stretch. One of the safest hamstring stretches you can do. Starting to push the hips more back and then change. So try and hold each of these for about a minute. I'm going through a little quicker as I'm just showing you. Many years ago, I had a footballing injury and I had a slip disc. And at that point, the sciatic nerve, so sometimes the sciatic nerve gets pinched. So I had to retrain flexibility that was natural for me when I was younger. I had to retrain the hamstrings. That gave me a deeper appreciation of how to slowly open these out. Now that we've done it on both the sides, let's just take up Parvattasana or down dog. This will open up your calves, so you can even bend one knee. You'll get get the other heel flat on the floor, you'll get a nice stretch through the calf, moving slightly up through the hamstring on the other side. Dropping both. Okay. Coming back to hamstring work. What you can do here is open out the legs here. The toes face slightly inwards. Yeah. Prasarita. Stretched. Padottanasana. Drop down. Very gentle stretches. Of course, you'll be doing this on a flat surface. I'm on the beach, so it's a little bit here and there. But on a flat surface, it's easier for you to trust the ability to go wider. And those who can, you can drop your elbows here over a course of time. Eventually, you want to go fully flat and touch your head on the floor. But to begin with, this is a good enough stretch. Just ensure that the knees are not bent and you're pushing the hips back. Very nice. So that has now set the stage for us to do some seated folds. The simple one is Janu. Janu means knee, Shirsh, head. Janu Shirshasana. Inhale. As you exhale, just gently dropping down. Now don't just stay there. Draw the kneecap slightly towards you. So engage the thigh. Once you engage the thigh, the forward fold happens even better. And you do it on the other side also. So just like that. Another forward fold that I like very much, especially for the hamstrings, is to put the leg like this, which means, say the left leg is stretched, the right leg is here. So first of all, ensure that you're sitting on the floor. Both the glutes, the sit bones are on the floor. Breathe in, start to drop. You can even put a towel here if that's your flexibility as of today, or a sort of yoga band. This is very nice because both the hips are flat, they're square. Then eventually dropping your elbows down to get a nice stretch of the hamstrings. It's quite an amazing stretch, slightly different from this because here the back tends to get a bit more rounded. Very beautiful stretch. So this is Ardha Vajra, half diamond, or we call it Trimukha, three-faced, Pada Paschimottanasana. Once you have done that, just ensure that your back, there's no pain in the back. You don't have to rush, like I said. Gravity is doing the work. You just have to relax. Move the sit bones out. Paschim Uttan. Uttan means to stretch. Paschim means the western side of the body. So the back of my body is considered the western side, the dorsal side, and the anterior side is considered the eastern part of my body. Yes? So now Paschimottanasana, stretch, pull in the stomach. So don't, so once you've stretched up, just pull in the navel, pivot, just pivot. See to it that you can push your tailbone back, just extend here. Deep, slow breathing. Eventually to bring the elbows down. Like this, you get a nice stretch. And now we have to do the reverse, the eastern, the Purva, eastern, Purvottanasana. You can even bend the knees, lift. Coming back to sit. In this way, gently over the months, over the years, you open out the hamstrings, and this will help you a lot when it comes to lower back pains and so on. It's just sitting straight, Siddhasana or Sukhasana. I'd like you to just close your eyes and for a moment visualize the way you stand. Visualize your hamstrings nice and long. Having a good visualization is very important when you work with the body. So to not use the mind and visualization would be not incorporating everything that comes with yoga practice. And finally, a couple of deep breaths to finish our practice. Inhale. Exhale. Namaste, thanks for joining. There are lots of other videos where we've covered different aspects of the body, mind and prana. Please do write into me and let me know on your own journey of opening out your hamstrings.